So today I'm going to teach you how to make some fresh bread. All you need for this are 5 simple ingredients. First of all, you need 500 grams of strong flour, 300 millilitres of warm water, 15 grams of fresh yeast, and then you need 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. And it's as simple as that. First step is to mix the salt and the sugar into the flour. You need to keep a little bit of sugar back to actually activate your yeast. So we're going to put that in there and make sure the rest of the salt and the sugar is mixed into the flour. So to activate the yeast, what we need to do is mix it with the sugar, because at the moment it's a solid and we need to make it liquid. So if you just get a teaspoon and push the yeast into the sugar, and it will start after a short while to form a liquid. Just keep working it round. And you can see now that this has actually become to a liquid. So we need to mix that now in with our 300 millilitres of water, and then we're going to mix it into the flour. I find the easiest way to do this is to pour a little bit of the water into the yeast. Give it a stir around. And then add that into the water. If you haven't quite got it all out, do it again. And now you've got your yeast and your sugar mixed in with the warm water. And the reason it's warm is it will help activate the yeast. So now we need to make a well in the middle of our flour. And then we're going to add the water and yeast mixture. The next stage is to bring it all together, which we're going to do using a metal spoon. So we're just going to fold this in, and you'll see it start to come together. And in a minute we're going to have to get our hands in and bring it all together, and then we're going to start kneading it. So we've now brought all of the flour, salt, sugar, yeast together, and we're now going to turn it out onto our worktop, and we're going to knead it for about 10 minutes. So using a little bit of the flour that we kept aside before, I'm going to spread that around. We can tip this out, and we're going to start kneading the dough. And all we're doing here is stretching the dough to activate the yeast and make it more elastic. So we've now been kneading the dough for 10 minutes, and we've now got a nice smooth stretchy elastic dough. I'm going to put that back in my bowl, and I'm going to cover that with cling film and a tea towel and leave it somewhere warm to prove for half an hour to an hour until it's doubled in size. I'm going to have a look, and we should see that the dough has doubled in size, which it has. So now we're just going to knock it back, which just means knead it very gently, and then we're going to separate it into our bread rolls. So we just knock it back. You can feel it's nice and light and airy, and all we're doing is knocking the air out. We don't have to knead it for very long, just a minute or so, and then it'll be ready to shape. Now I'm going to make bread rolls, but you can easily shape it into a loaf or put it in a loaf tin. It's completely up to you. So I've now got 8 pieces of dough, and I'm just going to roll them gently in a ball, and then I'm going to place them on a pre-greased baking sheet. Cover them with oiled cling film to stop it sticking, and then leave them to prove for another half an hour or so. So So all I've done here is roughly roll them into a round shape. I'm going to cover them with cling film and leave them to prove, and they'll rise again, and then we'll be cooking them in the oven for around about half an hour. As you can see, these have now doubled in size again, so I'm just going to take a little bit of the flour that was left over from kneading, sprinkle it on the top, and then I'm going to put them in the oven at gas mark 6 for about 30 minutes, and then hopefully we should have some nice fresh bread for lunch.